Serious question for you. Do Black Lives Matter to Black Lives Matter, the organization? Seriously, I mean, they profited off of the black community millions and been exposed for the corruption that they've chose to partake in using those millions of dollars. And in addition to that, they only show up when it's convenient or for some sort of political gain in order to receive more funds. Today, the Black Lives Matter is being torn down in Washington, D.C. Can't wait to see the responses from that. But before we dive into that topic, I want to bring y'all back to this clip right here. I'm black. I'm not oppressed.
People kill black people. They don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racists. It's wrong for a white cop to kill a black person, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But if it matters, it should matter at all times.
So what are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
It's not about blacks. I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue?
I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Violence is wrong, period. It's not about blacks. The blacks kill blacks in black neighborhoods every single day. I've never seen a Black Lives Matter in those neighborhoods. But if a white person kill a black person, Black Lives Matter. Stop the hypocrisy. No.
Why don't you start?
I'm not carrying anything saying Black Lives Matter. People.
I know that's right. Stop the hypocrisy. Within our community, we always put a wide lens, and I blame legacy media for this as well. We put a wide lens on anything pertaining to a white person being the aggressor to a black victim to some capacity. I mean, seriously, a white person literally can't even walk up to somebody in a restaurant and be like, hey, your music is a little bit too loud. It's kind of disturbing my experience. Oh, you're a racist. How dare? And then the entitlement part. How dare you? All this woman is simply saying is, hey, look, I have the opportunity to do what I want. I'm doing what I want. I'm not a victim. I'm not oppressed. Y'all making up excuses. At the end of the day, if I want to go accomplish something, I'm going to go accomplish it now. Does that mean that I won't have my own unique set of obstacles that I have to go through? I mean, who knows? I may deal with somebody that's racist that I'm trying to get hired from or whatever the case. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that racism is completely out of the picture, but at the same time, man, you got to have the mentality that you can go do it and you can make things happen, and no excuses. Life is going to be tough. What did Candace Owens say? Get a helmet. Black Lives Matter Plaza is being demolished because all lives matter. But of course, that's controversial, right? I thought it was just painted on there. That ain't just paint. They gotta dig up all the bricks. What's crazy is I was actually able to go to DC for Trump's rally. Right before inauguration, and I was able to see, I walked on that street. It's kind of cool. And shout out to y'all for making that possible. Literally, the kings and queens. Got some behind the scenes footage, not too much, something like me being up there in DC, that is. Not specifically, I don't think do I got the Black Lives Matter footage? I gotta go double check. But let's go ahead and get Fox News to report on what's happening.
Now, D.C. Mayor Mural saying that the name of Black Lives Matter Plaza will be changed amid growing pressure from Republicans. The mayor making that announcement just moments ago, saying, quote, the mural inspired millions of people and helped our city through a very painful period. But now we can't.
It inspired millions of dollars to the people.
Painful period. But now we can't afford to be distracted by meaningless congressional interference. There have been efforts in Congress to force the district to change Black Lives Matter Plaza or lose federal funding.
They said, look, man, I ain't finna, y'all over here, y'all trying to take my funding away. Hold up, wait. What are we doing? And by millions of dollars to the people, I mean, they got millions of dollars. Black Lives Matter, the organization, the co-founders or whatever, they took in millions from it. But the black people, the black communities, we didn't benefit from it even in the slightest. But yep, the iconic Black Lives Matter mural, a large yellow street painting on 16th Street near the Washington House, is being removed. Now, this is from the D.C. Mayor Mural Bowser, I believe. And shit, like she mentioned earlier, she announced that. But yeah, They said, look, if y'all don't do this, we going to withhold that federal funding. And, look, they about their money. They look, dog, you see what's going on with USA. We ain't trying to beat them, okay? This is good. But let me ask y'all this. What happens when you go to a white-only Black Lives Matter rally?
I went to a Black Lives Matter rally right after that to support, but I must have gone too late. It was all white women there. Holy shit. You ever end up at a whites only Black Lives Matter rally? That shit is confusing. You gotta prepare people for that shit.
That's crazy.
They had signs, stop racism. I was like, who are you talking to? Each other? Just call your fucking dad. That shit was crazy. I saw a white lady there with a sign that said, fuck the police. I wanted to rob her on principle. Just to see how committed she was. I went to a Black Lives Matter.
Obviously, rolling into the stereotype, right, of what is approved racism in America, which is if you Black, you get to say whatever you want about white people, but if you white, you can't say. You better tiptoe that line. You got to be really, really funny. But no, imagine that, man. Going to a Black Lives Matter rally and all you see is liberal white women there. Quite literally how we seen in that interaction. He said something that I wanted to talk about though. When I said stereotypes too, he also insinuated that all white people, older white people at least, are racist and whatnot when he said, go call your dad. Now, I don't believe that 100%. Nor do I want to take away to how potent the joke was or whatever, but I got to make sure y'all understand. We just laughing to keep him crying right here. No, I don't believe every white person is racist. That's obviously the reason why we got this channel and do what we do here as well. But even the young hip hop artists are on to the schemes of what's going on with Black Lives Matter. Lil Yachty says that BLM is a scam. Where's the lie though?
BLM? Since you want to be so black power? BLM is a scam. Clip that.
Why? BLM was literally a scam. They had bought mansions, and you probably wouldn't know anything about it because you don't care about black people. You don't follow black
I do care about black people. Look at my chocolate.
Interesting how she says that she cares about black people by just simply being black. Yes, that rapper and songwriter Lil Yachty is correct. BLM is an absolute scam, and they bought mansions and a bunch of other shit and didn't help the black community in any way, shape, or form. In fact, Donald Trump, the person that people label racist, people of color, they label him racist, has done more for the black community than BLM has ever done. Let that sink in. Oh, you thought I was done? How come BLM only cares about when a white person does something to a black person, but not when a black person does something to a black person? Such as all the crime in Chicago. Literal black on black crime. But they don't want to talk about that. Where the fuck is Ben Crump? Well, yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Black Lives Matter only when it is at the hands of a black victim and the person who was the aggressor had to be white. That's the only way that it works. If it's black on black, the life don't matter. And I'm going to prove that to you. I'm going to prove that to you. First, I got to pause this because my food just came and I don't want it to get cold. I don't need no ants in my food. Can't believe they forgot my drink. They forgot my drink. I guess my black life didn't matter, the thirst. Anywho, moving on from it being a scam. Let's prove why it was a scam.
So there's been a lot of critiques as to how BLM has spent the $100 million that was lavished upon them by Americans.
Yep.
There are a lot of rules as a nonprofit as to how you can and cannot spend money that you get tax-free as a donation. Right. Would you be in favor of an investigation into BLM?
Here's what I'm not in favor of. Why hasn't the investigation started 2 weeks ago, a month ago? Like, why aren't charges already forthcoming? Where are the indictments? Of course, this has been just wholesale theft and not only do they not arrest the people on the streets that are throwing punches and batteries and assaulting people, they don't arrest the people that, or they haven't arrested the people that orchestrated this whole wholesale theft and fraud on the from the American people. There are a lot of fine, well-minded, high-minded charities out there that are trying to do the right thing, and this gives all of them a bad name, which is why there has to be accountability. There always has to be accountability so that people have trust in the system. But if you can get away with this, you can get away with anything.
Yes, I mean, $22 million on a mansion, I believe. A couple different mansions at that. Trying to defund, advocating for defunding the police, but you got nothing but police and security detail paying them thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. On top of that, I think she hired her brother or something like that to work security detail. Yes, BLM definitely needs to be investigated. Seriously. Otherwise, Candace Owens, myself, and people like-minded are considered conspiracy theorists. In addition to that, no accountability only fuels or only continues to fuel the divide. We have no definitive, we have definitive facts, but to the liberals or the leftists who want to continue to stay brainwashed without accountability being had to prove like, hey, it's a fact that they did steal from us, that they did rob us. Yeah, they ain't gonna let this die down even a little bit. But the dismantling of that mural is a start, right? Of course. Donations, y'all remember Act Blue and how a lot of the donations were discovered to be false. That were going towards the Democrat Party. Mind you, these donations were from like dead people, from like old people old and young people who don't even possess they don't even make the amount of money that they donated. Mind you, they donated like several times in a day and throughout the weeks, stuff like that. That's how you know that the money was being siphoned and funneled, it was being funneled to these Democratic candidates. That's how Kamala was able to raise that $27 million in 5 hours from Act Blue. But anywho, when you click to donate Black Lives Matter, it takes you to Act Blue. If donated money goes unclaimed, then Act Blue disperses the money however they want to. So yes, looking at Act Blue, looking at BLM. These are the top expenditures so far in 2020. Did I say that right? Expenditures. Bernie 2020, Biden for president, Elizabeth Warren. You got Pete for America, Democratic Congressional Campaign. You got Amy for America, Friends of Andrew Yang. I don't even know what half of this stuff is, if I'm being honest, but it's hundreds of millions of dollars collectively, man. Democrats, y'all got to steal now. Now, what did Obama do for Black people when he was in office? I remember that being a big deal, right? I remember myself, my president is Black, all that, the world was a little different. I ain't gonna lie, I was a leftist and I enjoyed my time, at least what it represented, up until I gained the knowledge on what was really going on.
Want to know, like, what did you do specifically for Black people? Not the rising tide lifts all boats types of rhetoric, because we all know Black people's boat got a hole in it. So the systemic things that were done to Black people to put us in these positions, we need specific systemic things to get us out. So what
I'm saying, Charlamagne, is Black poverty dropped faster than everybody else. Black incomes went up more than a lot of other folks. So, the issue is sometimes we just didn't go around advertising that because, once again, the goal here is to build coalitions where everybody is getting something so that they all feel like they've got a stake in it. But a lot of my policies were targeted towards people.
In other words, he ain't do shit.
Yeah, man, Obama, you ask somebody, the average person, yo, what did Obama do for Black people? I can tell you what he did for me. Y'all want me to be wrong, just completely honest. At the time when I was a leftist and I was a Democrat, he was just a representation. I'm just keeping it real. And that's how my mind looked at it at that time. He was just a representation of hope and possibility. And I mean, that in itself is still something that I don't think it should be frowned upon. No, that's removing all the context, birth certificates, all the other stuff. You know, and heritage and all that. We just assume he's black. But yeah, at that time, that's what it represented. I'm like, oh man, we got a black president. I can do this. I can achieve. That in that moment really helped me realize that I wasn't a victim, even though I still cosplayed the victim mindset. Didn't even realize it. But you asked, what did Donald Trump do for black people? Oh, supported minority-owned businesses through the Paycheck Protection Program, PPP. He dispersed loans to small businesses through over 90% of black-owned firms were initially denied due to bank access issues. A $1 billion Commerce Department fund targeted minority entrepreneurs later that year. Let's see what else. Trump proposed a $500 billion investment plan for black businesses and communities, promising 3 million new jobs and 500,000 new black-owned firms. The black poverty rate, since Obama talked about it, fell to 18.8% in 2019, a historic low, lifting nearly 2.5 million people out of poverty during Trump's first 2 years. Trump's 2020 budget proposed $500 million for school choice, and he signed a 2018 bill increasing funding by $42 million, aiming to benefit black students in underperforming districts at that. Post George Floyd, Trump banned federal chokeholds in non-life-threatening cases and created a national police misconduct database. I can keep going. No, I'm serious. I can keep going. Record low black unemployment by February 2020. Black unemployment hit 5.8, the lowest since tracking began in 1972. Trump's Ready to Work initiative connected former prisoners with employers, and he awarded $2.2 million in fidelity bonds to incentivize hiring ex-inmates, many of whom were black. What about opportunity zone? First step back. Like, I'm just saying. Speaking of, the Platinum Plan, I believe the Platinum Plus Plan, it was the Black Contract with America, which the Democrats didn't even want to hear from Ice Cube, but Donald Trump heard him out, and I believe he put it in he incorporated into the Platinum Plan, something like that. I can't remember the specific details of how it all underwent, but Donald Trump heard Ice Cube out, and because of that, the black community actually tried to push Ice Cube out. Serious. It's weird.
Remember when Ice Cube said this?
Black people have supported Democrats overwhelmingly for 50, 60 years, and nothing has changed, so something's got to change.
Well, it seems the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Rhode Island has come out against the Democrats and Joe Biden. Says he's now supporting Donald Trump. Says that the tide is starting to turn for black people because Democrat policies have harmed us, and goes on to say that the Democrat Party is racist and strikes at the heart of the nuclear family.
Well, I like Trump personally. I think right now who we have sitting in the Oval Office is deep disappointment. I deeply have disdain for him. And
do you feel alone in this viewpoint in the world that you're in, being in the BLM movement?
No, I feel like the tide is starting to turn. I feel like a lot of black people are starting to pivot off of that Democratic plantation. Been mental slaves. We've been used and abused for so long. That party, they don't value our vote, and I believe it's a racist party that strikes at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family.
According to Joe Biden, because of what this man just said, he is no longer black. And I guess that makes me and a bunch of my family members no longer black. My mom's not black, my dad's not black, my sister's not black, my brothers aren't black, because we no longer vote Democrat. Even though my parents voted Democrat for 40 years, voted for Obama twice. It is what their family had always done, until one day they realized the Democrat Party didn't align with their values and realized that their policies weren't helping but hurting us. They say it's insanity to do the same thing over and over again,
yes, it is,
expecting different results.
Yes, it
the
is.
chain to the Democrats was broken with my family. Does that mean we'll vote for just any Republican? Absolutely not. There's a whole lot of Republicans we wouldn't vote for, but we, like a lot of families, have seen how the Democrat Party has harmed us, and we're not afraid of being told that we we ain't black just because we don't vote.
Amen to that.
No one can take away who you are because you don't vote how they want you to vote. And people like Ice Cube and the co-founder of BLM Rhode Island realize this. There is not only a spiritual awakening happening, but there's also a political awakening happening. People are starting to wake up.
Yes, they are. It doesn't remove any accountability from that BLM's co-founder. However, it also proves to you just the motives. And it also proves to you, honestly, just how it's been dismantled within, because the ideologies are being seen and met with common sense. And the common sense is like, hence what happened to, or hence, why this co-founder of Rhode Island decided to speak out against Black Lives Matter. Now, remember, I told you, I was going to prove to you how Black lives only matter when it's a white person killing somebody that's black, because this is a story I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all never heard about.
Like you guys say, it's 12 days. Our family has lost Ivory, which was loved throughout our family. She was one of our youngest ones in the family. And we're just seeking justice. We're trying to get these laws changed because it's unfair. Like you guys say, it's 12 days before Christmas, and we're planning a funeral instead of trying to celebrate Christmas.
Sharonda, explain that thing that I just talked about in this introduction. This migrant from Venezuela, after he hit the other car, jumps out, and rather than helps, he takes pictures and then gets in the car and speeds away?
Yes, unfortunately, he didn't care. He didn't care that it was a mother and a daughter in that car, scared that he had harmed. He didn't try to assist. He didn't try to call for help. He got out, he took pictures, and he tried to flee the scene.
Yeah.
While they lay lifeless.
Mm. We got Donald Trump trying to get in office to get rid of illegal migrants so that stuff like this doesn't happen. But the left says that Donald Trump is everything under the sun that's negative for that. Had that been a white person. Remember, what was his name? Penny Daniels, I believe. That white guy that was on the train when that black guy was on there threatening everybody. And unfortunately, y'all know the situation, but this is what they rally for.
Just like everybody else seeks justice on their own, just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes. Right.
Mind you, he's talking about black vigilantes going out and doing some...
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us? Just like...
So, I ask you one more time. Well, I ask it in a different way. Do you think Black Lives Matter? Do Black Lives Matter? Let me know in the comments right now.